Have you ever thought about what you're actually wearing, the history of the brand, and its culture? Primark is a leading international clothing retailer employing over 72,000 people in 15 countries with over 370 stores around the world and growing. Primark was founded by Arthur Ryan in 1969 as a single shop in Mary Street, Dublin called Penny's. The company grew from there. Primark's tree model. It's made out of 3 parts. The leaves of the tree represent an outward expression of a brand. Elements of outward expression for Primark are the clothing that they sell, their website and stores, and even collaborations with other brands like NBA, Marvel, and Disney. The outward expression influences the public's perception of the company. As Primark is a fast fashion brand, some elements of its image change quickly, just like the leaves are different every season. The branches of the tree are the values, which are not obvious but dictate brands' outer expressions. According to Primark's website, they value diversity and inclusion within their company. A tangible example of this value shaping the image of Primark is people from different cultures and parameters they feature as models. By doing this, more people find this brand appealing to them. Primark also claims that they value an ethical supply chain and the well-being of people that makes the products. Nonetheless, it's well known that Primark underperforms in this factor, and we're going to go back to it later. This is what one of the employees says about Primark's ethical values.
Primark cares about standards in its supply chain. These are all laid out in the Code of Conduct. Our Code of Conduct is based on international standards around worker rights, such as working hours and a fair wage. Our Code of Conduct details all the standards that we expect factories to meet before we will place an order with them.
Finally, the trunk and roots of Primark displays fundamental concerns. The main goal is being affordable. This is also the reason why the store was opened in the first place. However, it became the concern of the retailer as chasing after achieving lowest prices in the market causes ethical issues, as mentioned earlier. This is why it's a challenging time for Primark. It's trying to complete 2 conflicting goals. Nevertheless, the company has been succeeding with maintaining low price points, thus communicating their foundation to customers. Now let's discuss 7 dimensions of culture in Primark, an Irish multinational fast fashion retailer, and Ireland, its country of origin. Starting with universalism versus particularism, Ireland scores more towards particularism as people there are more oriented towards the rules rather than relationships, but Primark is more universalistic. It needs to appeal to every customer, makes them feel accepted and included, providing all sorts of clothing which varies by style, size, and occasion. Then, individualism versus communitarianism. Ireland is pretty much in the middle, but Primark is more communitarian, as it tends to perceive the company as a whole, working for common success in a market. Everyone has their purpose in a company and can contribute for its good. On the specific versus diffuse spectrum, Ireland seems to be in the middle, and Primark leans more into the specific side, with being very transparent about how it deals with scandals, example of which is collapse of Rana Plaza in Bangladesh, we're going to mention it later. In the neutral versus affective field, Ireland is more affective, as people of this culture tend to display their emotions openly, and so does Primark in their statements. Their advertisements evoke positive emotions and tend to be expressive. It's one of their approaches to marketing. Talking about achievement versus description, Ireland is big on achievement, stating you are what you do. However, Primark is more oriented on other traits such as gender, age, and other characteristics to appeal better to its customers. Of course, everyone would want to buy from the brand, which makes you feel appreciated no matter what you do and who you are. That's what Primark does. Next, Ireland is very future-oriented, and so is Primark, which can be seen in their short-term and long-term business plans for the future. They're planning on opening 130 stores in the next 5 years, and they value progress rather than tradition. In internal versus external field, again, Ireland is in the middle, but Primark is on the internal side. They can't just go with the flow, but have to take control over fashion trends to remain at the podium. Recently, Primark has faced a dilemma. On one hand, it wants to establish an e-commerce network to reach customers globally and mitigate the competitors, but on the other hand, it wants to preserve lower prices that give Primark its competitive advantage. Primark has become synonymous with affordable yet trendy clothing. While it has certainly established itself as a go-to outlet for European consumers looking for affordable clothing, it faces some fierce competition due to its lack of e-commerce. While Primark does not have an online store, you can only use it to see the accessibility of articles of clothing in your local in-person outlets. Direct competitors such as TK Maxx are already using an e-commerce network to ship clothes to customers all over the globe. The Primark-shaped void left in the affordable clothing e-commerce marketplace will certainly be filled by more of its competitors if it does not act quickly. Back in 2013, Primark briefly tested out an e-commerce network but abandoned the project only after 3 months. What was the reason, you might ask? Well, according to a 2018 article by Business Insider, it was simply because the e-commerce network created so many new expenses that Primark could no longer maintain the low price points. 10 years later, e-commerce has become utterly essential for clothing companies to thrive, which makes it fair to say that the following dilemma needs reconciliation. As Primark begins with establishing their e-commerce presence, it's certain that it will consume a lot of time and money, but it's an excellent growth opportunity that the company does not want to miss. E-commerce platform requires the company to invest large at start, but it's promising to pay off as it becomes widely used. There are a couple of things to start with as a part of the reconciliation program. Primark is known for its large stores, located on several floors. Online shopping platform will significantly lower crowding in stores, which leads Primark to decrease sizes of in-person stores. Therefore, it's possible to reduce the number of employees per location. Additional strategies can be used to lower the wages expense. Primark can make their outlets dominantly self-service running. The most efficient way to achieve this is by launching QR codes in fitting rooms, so that the customer is able to pay for their purchase as soon as they try them on. These purchases would be forwarded into their e-commerce network. In this way, Primark could promote their online shopping platform, boost sales, attract curious customers, and save money on employees, as the peak rush times will be mitigated through the QR code system. By implementing this system, Primark will keep up with technological progress without straining its sources.